We're live right now. We are live. Welcome. Happy Monday, everybody. Welcome to the Page and Hannibal YouTube channel. I see Big Carl here. Big Carl. Do people say big when they say Big Carl, they say Big Carl, or they just say Carl?
Big Worm, Big Carl.
Big Worm. Classic movie. Oh, I was just thinking about what's this movie I was just thinking about. It's totally different, but obviously Big Worm Friday, one of the best movies ever made.
Yep.
I was been watching like 40-year-old version. I forgot how funny that movie was.
That's a classic.
I was dying. This list it was so like they do not make comedies like this anymore, and we all know why. But man, that movie was funny.
So good.
Like
that movie. It's not Friday because
no.
Friday's just on a different level, but it makes you laugh just about as much. You know what I mean? Like it gets you going.
The arguments between the dudes, it's just funny. I mean, the guy said, if I take my knife out, it won't go back in the sheath unless it see blood. Like what?
No, who talks like that?
That's some gangster shit. Like, yo, if I take this knife out, it must have blood on it. So don't mess with me. I'm from Brooklyn, which is funny. Like, but it's funny. Both of them, like actors, they both from Trinidad.
Yeah.
But it's funny the difference, the look of people in the same goddamn place. But
Kevin Hart. Kevin Hart was not Kevin Hart in that movie when he was in that movie, right?
Yeah, I know a lot of people find Kevin Hart annoying now, and I feel he's a little annoying. But there's times where Kevin Hart was really funny.
Yeah.
I mean, you tell me all these big words, and I don't understand them, so I'm taking it as a sign of disrespect.
Yeah. So you guys are mentioning Tropic Thunder. What up, Giggity, Big Carl, 314. I haven't seen that movie in a while. We've referenced it a few times on the show.
Oh, yeah.
I need to watch it again because I know I've missed a lot that's in that movie because it's been several years, and I need to watch it. I don't know what streaming app it's on. We've got pretty much probably all of them, but I need to watch that. Like,
that is a very, very funny movie.
Yeah,
I saw Tropic Thunder in the theater.
Oh, really?
Yeah, oh, wow. Yeah. It's funny. It's a movie that could not be made today for a number of reasons. It just can't.
Absolutely not.
So many issues with it, but man, it's funny. I mean, that's the last blackface that could be done without a problem. To a point where even your younger folks who think everything is offensive, even they try to make a Facebook comment talking about how it's offensive, and everyone just shuts them down, tell them to shut up. You don't know what you're talking about. It was funny.
Yeah.
I don't think, and it's funny. I think Robert Downey Jr. didn't really want to do it, but the other actors like pushed him. Like, it's fine, just do it, go. Like,
yeah. And you know what? I want to get your take on this. Robert Downey Jr. He just won an Oscar, which is shout to him.
Shout out to him. I didn't watch the movie, but maybe I'll check it out because I like his acting. Yeah.
I haven't seen that Oppenheimer movie either, but I think it's probably worth watching if I got the time. Robert Downey Jr. does that blackface in that movie the way he did it. It's almost like it don't matter because it's him. If it's other guys, maybe we look at it differently. I don't know. Does it depend on the actor and how well they do it and how they convey it and how who it is, or is it just nobody should ever do it, or it doesn't matter because it's comedy? What's your take on that?
Well, in terms of comedies getting those kind of rewards or that kind of attention?
Comedy, white actors doing the blackface in a comedy. Right. When I saw it, I didn't have any issues with it. I'm not black, but
no, of course, because we underestimate our ability. I think, especially now as a society, we underestimate our ability to understand what's a joke and what isn't. Mm-hmm. I think a lot of people, especially those who want to regulate what you can say and what is funny, they want to push their sensibilities onto everybody else. Mm-hmm. I think most people find things funny. They get it. So I was watching just randomly. I don't know why this popped up. I think it was like a random Facebook clip. You remember the cartoon Speedy Gonzalez?
Oh yeah, man. Racist as fuck. Yeah.
All right. Fair enough. But at the same time, right?
I mean, not to me, but think about it. It's yeah.
Which is fine. They're pushing stereotypes. But when you go in the comments and the people who watched it and probably grew up watching it, even people say, yeah, I'm Hispanic, I'm Mexican. I find it funny.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a character called I think it was Slowpoke Rodriguez or whatever.
Right there. Big Carl's got it. Slowpoke Rodriguez.
Yeah. Homeboy don't like he's slow. You're thinking like, oh, he must be lazy, he's slow poke. But when anyone gets onto him, the dude is quick to blast the dude in the face. Like that's hilarious.
Yeah, it is.
Because you think, oh, he's slow. I could grab him and eat him. Because Speedy Gonzalez, they can't catch him. But homeboy, he takes the ratchet, and that's the one thing that's so funny about those cartoons. They would shoot each other in the face.
Yeah. I never, growing up and watching something like that or seeing things like I was called I was called a spick or like a beaner, and I'm not Mexican, but like it is what it is. And those things never really bothered me when I would see something on TV that was stereotypical or whatever. It never bothered me, and then like it's more recent, and now everybody's like looking back and picking up on things. And
right.
Some things that you can dissect based on who is creating it and their intent. If we really can figure out that the intent was bad,
absolutely.
Yeah, that's some racist stuff. But like, if you can't pinpoint it on that level, you're just picking at something to make something out of nothing and taking away something that was funny and trying to make it like, oh, you should be offended now. If I wasn't offended initially with my gut instinct, then I shouldn't be offended. It's kind of how I look at it.
Yeah, context is extremely important when you are trying to figure out, like I said, intent, because you can't look at something and maybe in 5 seconds understand intent. And you may have that emotional gut reaction to something being racist. So there were cartoons that were pretty racist and they weren't even funny. So another thing too, if you're not even funny, and I just see the mammy kind of thing, and you see the big lips, you see like the color of the skin, you're like, this is not even funny.
Yeah.
So I guess we're just making fun of someone, and in terms of just making fun of how they look, rather than where's the joke. Like there's no jokes here. So like the level of what are you trying to make people laugh? Then we should the old like Married with Children. They made fun of fat people. You cannot do that now. Not the way Al did it. Al came home every day and said, I met a fat woman at the shoe store. And
couldn't get shoes on foot. Yeah.
Couldn't get shoes on the foot. He hates his life. His woman's fat. You can't make those kind of jokes. Can't. And some people say that may be progress in our society. I beg to differ because now we're all scared to say anything.
Yeah, no, it's bad when you don't have bad intents and you're just trying to be funny, or you're trying to share an experience you had with a Puerto Rican, a black guy, an Asian, right? And you're just on the subway. I met this Asian dude and he was doing this, and it's just an actual interaction, let's say, right?
Right.
And the fact that comedians can't feel they can just say that, we're losing out on some comedy. Now we have some comedics that do whatever, but it's not the mainstream stuff. So
not a lot. I mean, I'll say the funniest stuff out there now is random memes on the internet, and unfortunately, they're not getting paid the amount of money they probably deserve because it's just a clip on the internet. And people who are making the most money is probably the companies like Google and Facebook, and where these really talented people making funny, and you can say it's offensive, but pushing the needle, they just put it on YouTube and you get a few views. But you know how it is. You got to make life-changing money. It takes a lot of views for it to work.
Yeah.
So like when you can go on Instagram and go through the reels and you'll find some shit that you'll be like, wow, should you be laughing at this? You could find it. It's just, it won't be on Fox. It won't be on, NBC, the big stuff.
Yeah, or none of that. Yeah.
Married with Children was Fox for like 12 years. Fox.
And it was a big show. I mean, that was Al Bundy with his hand in his pants at that couch. That's an iconic scene,
Yeah, I relate more and more to that every day. And that's the one thing about Al Bundy. He related to everybody. He was white. It didn't matter. Everyone related to what he was going through.
Yeah, he's a guy that's marginally employed, hates his job. He's got a wife that's a little annoying. He's got one kid that's just a dope, right? And then he's got a daughter that's a
dope too. They all,
either they're taking his money. He's just like, I scored 4 touchdowns in the state championship, and he's just sitting there mad about his decisions. It's hilarious,
Yeah, it's kind of like he peaked in high school. Like it's just the worst of the worst, right? But every day he still gets up and goes to work. I mean, that's it. He's not giving up. He's like, all right, I'm going to just, and then every episode something happens. Definitely, if you guys have not seen Married with Children, it's funnier than anything that's.
I think most of the people in here, I would say everybody in here has probably seen it for sure. Steve, thanks, man. Appreciate that very, very, very much. What's up, gentlemen? See you at Kerbal 4. Yes, we will be there. I can't wait. It's going to be the highlight of my year so far for sure.
Yes, guys, we're going to be in LA, hanging out, doing some business, mostly not business, but we're gonna be doing some business, hanging out. I guess the art district.
Yeah.
Out there in LA. Hopefully the weather is perfect. The weather over here is pretty decent. Not too. Like, it's still cold, but sun is out.
Yeah.
There's some warm parts. Sometimes I can go outside with just a sweater, so it's not the big. I think we're finally getting into that spring. But hopefully, I hope it's like 70 something. I hope.
We'll see.
I don't know, man.
Either way, just don't hope for rain. Even if it's 50s, 60s, I'm fine. But yeah, if it's 75, 80 degrees, perfect, man. I mean, that's what it was last time for the most part. So
yeah, I mean, last year Pedro decided, I'm in LA, so let me get the shades from Target, wearing shorts, tee, and at one point of the day, I'm like, I know this motherfucker is freezing because the temperature dropped.
Yeah, funny you bring that up. I'll give you all a quick story, then we'll get into the show. I promise. So listen, so we're getting ready to go to Curvebore. Me and Hannibal doing a thing. We're walking it's like 8:30, 9 o'clock, something like that. I'm like, I need some glasses because that's just I'm just kind of bougie like that. So we walk probably I don't know, half a mile. I like to walk in the city.
I hate walking.
Hannibal knows. We just go to Target. I get some pants for later on. I get some glasses. I like to do that kind of shit. So it's fun.
Well, yeah. Listen, Pedro is the YouTube celebrity. He gotta look fresh when he lands. He like, listen, I don't take it. I'll buy it at the store when I get there. Damn it, that's how I roll. Which is, I appreciate.
Well, you're the celebrity now when we go. So now you got to come up and with the red carpet. And I got.
I'm assuming since it's about gig work, I'm sure no one has watched any of those videos. And like, when last time I did 6 months ago?
No,
but hopefully,
I think you're gonna get a lot. I think you're gonna get a lot of love. Be like, oh, Hannibal, your channel's blowing up, man. I mean, I like that. That lady's crazy, man. She's crazy.
She is crazy, and she got me all day. I'm still going through stuff. Every day is something going on with this woman and the people that she put herself around. It's not even real. It seems like, is this fake? But it's sadly all real. Yeah. I don't know if this is a good transition, but I know Pedro is a little upset about this. So the reason why we're talking about it, because it's been announced a while ago. The Jake Paul Mike Tyson fight. Now, I know you're not a big fan of the Paul brothers.
I'm not.
I guess you say boxing exploits.
I respect Jake Paul because he's making himself into a fighter. The kid's tough. He's an athlete. He works hard. He's training. I'm not a hater, but he ain't a professional boxer, and this is definitely celebrity like. It's not real boxing necessarily. It's like WWE mixed with boxing, but
you could say is I don't know if the outcome is predetermined because that's the separation of wrestling with other stuff. Like they already know who's going to win. You
don't know if you.
It's possible. I mean, no. When you said that, I not disagreeing. I mean, it could be just we're both here to collect a paycheck.
Yeah,
we're gonna chill. I mean. Tyson how old is Tyson right now? So like,
I think he's going to be 58 by the time they fight. No,
right. So
58 or 68, 58.
And this is happening in July 20th.
Yeah.
AT&T Stadium.
Yeah, that's where the Cowboys play, bro.
Yeah.
It's going to be the event. This is going to be the event of the summer for sure. Hands down.
That's all we got.
Yeah. Yeah,
I mean, unless you're into wrestling, which most, I know you're not.
What do you think is gonna happen? Let's say this isn't something they're setting up 2 fights and like it's already determined Jake's gonna win and Mike Tyson wins a second and a big third fight. Each guy makes $1 billion. Like, if it's not that, who's winning this fight? Iron Mike is still Iron Mike. The power's the last thing to go for an old man. So
yeah, but
who wins?
The man is 58 years old. That's, this is not 45. Was it? No, 42 George Foreman.
Yeah.
Versus Michael Moore, where Foreman was losing that fight. Now, he said he was setting something up, and that's true. He was, because you watch the fight when he explained it, he was setting up that right, which didn't look all that devastating. But if you get hit by Foreman, you're going to
but even
crumble.
It might not look devastating, but the power and the weight behind it.
Oh yeah.
And the positioning of a punch. I mean, George Foreman can knock somebody out today if you want.
So YouTube that. You could watch the last round, but you could YouTube that fight. I've seen it. I saw it live. It was on HBO. I lost my mind. I can't believe he won because Michael Moore did not take him seriously.
Yeah.
But he was beating him. But you could tell he was slowing down a little bit, and Foreman just set up that right. It was amazing. So is it possible? Of course, anything is possible. Any odds yet? What's up, Bobby? I'm looking up right now. There's not a lot of information on exactly.
Paul's favored right now, from what I understand. That's what I've seen.
I mean, the guy's 20 years younger. Like, he should be.
Yeah.
Now it's going to be on Netflix, so don't have to worry about paying, because I know you weren't going to pay and I wasn't going to pay. Like, I was going to definitely watch it somewhere else but this is a Netflix event.
On Netflix, I will probably stay tuned because it's Mike Tyson. The
Right.
other guys that he's fought, and one time he lost to the actual boxer, the Fury kid, right? I haven't paid for any of those. We went and saw the one fight, right? Together,
right.
In Denver or whatever. But I'll watch this. I plan on probably watching this unless there's something else going on that night that I have an obligation. I'll probably sit down with some popcorn and I'll say it right now. I'm rooting for Mike Tyson. I'm not rooting for Jake Paul. So.
I think a lot of people will like Mike Tyson to knock him out. But so the details, whether it's an exhibition match or a professional bout, hasn't been explicitly mentioned. So I'm assuming it's an exhibition fight.
Yeah.
Or at least something. It's going to be some rules together. I don't know. We'll see, how big the gloves, how thick the gloves are. They're going to be a little thicker. Like, I think regulation is what? I should know this by the top of my head, but I do not know.
So many ounces?
10 ounces?
Something like that. I can't remember. UFC is different than obviously the boxing. They're obviously doing boxing, but depending on where the fight's sanctioned, and that's
a good point too. Like, someone's approving a 58-year-old man to fight, a 58-year-old man to fight?
No, not professional because of Mike Tyson's age. So I'm pretty sure it's an exhibition bout because Texas isn't going to sanction a fight of somebody that age. That's not how. So Jake Paul's not getting any credit for this being a pro fight. It's straight exhibition, but there's obviously a lot of money involved. So
because for the weight classes it's 10 ounce. So if they go with 12, I don't think they'll go with 14. It'll just look ridiculous. You could tell like there's doing because I think they want to protect both people, and I think it's a payday. I think this is a big payday. They're gonna make a lot of money. A lot of people are a bit annoyed with the whole Jake Paul thing. To be honest, Jake Paul and Logan Paul bring asses to the seats. Logan Paul is actually a pretty good wrestler. And it's interesting because Logan Paul has a lot of problems scamming, like a lot of scamming situations where he did a lot of NFT shit, pump and dumps, crypto, and people put a lot of information on YouTube about how he blatantly stealing, like he stole a lot of money, and no one cares.
Nobody cares.
Right? People still watching the wrestling. His brother I don't think his brother had anything to do with it. Probably did. I mean, they're brothers. I'm sure they had the same money or whatever. But, Jake Paul is trying to be an entertainer. Because if you're trying to be a respectable fighter, you don't take these bouts. You wouldn't take a Mike Tyson at 58. You try to really progress as a boxer. So I understand you're saying that, is he a true professional prize fighter? I guess if you fight for money, you're a prize fighter. That's always I thought. Like, you're getting paid to fight, and there's a prize at the end. The fighter who wins gets the most money, or at this point, it's all planned out. You are a prize fighter. Yeah. The quality of prize fighting is probably something that we can probably argue.
I just wonder the stamina of Mike Tyson. Last time he did something like this was with Roy Jones Jr. a few years back. He didn't look great.
And I didn't see that fight. Okay, so tell me about that. I didn't see it.
I've seen clips. He just didn't look great. I feel like he's older now, clearly, but I think he's in better shape. I think he's in a better space in his life. He's, you see him working out, man. And working out's one thing, but he looks good.
He's scary when he's hitting those pads.
His movements, he still has those movements. He's not as fast, obviously, but that power and that technique, Jake Paul's never faced somebody like this. He's fought ex-NBA players, NFL players, old UFC guys, a real boxer, and he loses, somebody his age, his size. So this is going to be interesting. And I'm looking at this as entertainment, but I think it can go either way. Do I think Jake Paul is going to knock Mike Tyson out in the first round? Absolutely not. I'd put a lot of money that does not happen. I just don't. I think Mike Tyson's been hit so many. He's got a chin. He's professional. He's not. I don't think that's going to happen. Mike Tyson's got. I don't know if he's ever fought somebody that can punch like Mike Tyson. Come on, that power is still there. That technique. that unique stature that Mike Tyson fights and how he comes at people, he ain't faced something like this. So I'm hoping Jake Paul gets his teeth knocked out, but I don't know. It can go either way.
I'm going back what you said originally. I think they're going to coast this. I think they are going to do enough. I don't, because I mean, is there any animosity? I think Jake Paul probably obviously looks up to him like everyone else does.
Yeah.
Obviously, Prime Mike would have killed him.
This is Prime Mike. This is a 10-second knockout.
Yeah, Prime Mike would have hurt him bad. He probably would have took a knee or went down like a lot of people did back in the day when my father used to pay for those pay-per-views. And they, Don King was phenomenal in trying to hype up anyone that looked like he can beat Mike Tyson, even though in hindsight, it was all bullshit, but I'm young. I didn't know. And a lot of people fell for it and spend those. Remember, back in the day, pay-per-views were expensive back then, the $50, $60 to watch Mike Tyson knock out a guy in the first round. My father used to get so mad. He felt like he wasted his money because we all thought, oh, maybe this is it. Maybe they'll give him some kind of competition. And Mike Tyson would just run them over. They won before he even got to fight because they were afraid of him.
Prime Mike Tyson's the scariest fighter in the history of boxing. There's no debate. Not the best necessarily. He's some people's GOAT, it's not mine. But the scariest as far as entering in a ring, not knowing, am I going to last past one round? Nobody struck fear like Mike Tyson. I mean, his look, his intimidation. I mean, the way he talked was even just weird and creepy. And it made it worse, right? So that guy was just on a whole nother level. His 10-fight streak or whatever it was, and that was the most dominant thing I've ever seen.
Yeah, I mean, and he was crazy too. I mean, he was out of control. He was, he's one with a real pet tiger, like all types of crazy stuff. And a lot of people do say, like, is Mike Tyson the group that just one of the hardest hitting fighters ever? But some people still say, it's Foreman. Sonny Liston, like of guys that if they hit you, that's it. You're gonna get knocked out or severely hurt. But I'll probably check it out. I'm sure that day. I'm sure there's not much going on. The NBA will be over. There's that summer is not much going on.
Probably a Saturday or something, right? Most of these fights.
Probably, most likely Saturday. So we'll definitely check it out. All right. So you say you're rooting for Mike Tyson. Are you gonna put some money down?
No, I don't. I'm not putting money down on what I think is an exhibition kind of deal. No, not doing it. I think Mike Tyson's going to win. That's what I think. I think he's going to win. I think they'll set up another fight. That's what I think. Yeah.
Bobby says Mike Tyson will probably carry him like Mayweather did McGregor. So I remember that fight. Did you watch that fight?
I did.
I was
actually when that fight happened, I was at a fantasy baseball draft. And we had the fight on after we drafted, and we placed all kinds of bets, and I remember that was a big deal. Yeah.
Okay. So I remember going to a coworker's house because I was still working. Had a W-2. I think I went in, yelled out "race war" because it was a black guy and a white guy fighting, and then everyone.
That's what you.
Hilarious. Yeah. It was funny. Oh, listen, the people I talked to. My friends, the people that whole race thing and being offensive of everything is over. Like we don't deal with that. At least the people I talk to.
Yeah.
So it was funny, but at one point, it looked like McGregor was not having his way, but holding his own. And I was actually getting surprised until I realized, and most people realized that Mayweather was just fucking with him. And then later on,
half the time he was just making it fun for the audience.
I guess that's an annoying point, right? Like we are looking, basketball players don't do that, right? The Lakers don't, the Pistons are terrible, but the Pistons are going to be playing as hard as possible, and the Lakers are not going to coast. You know what I mean? Like they're going to, because you don't want to be that one team. Because I think the Pistons record is something like 5 wins or something like that.
I think they got more than that. I think Pistons and the Wizards are the worst right now. I think, right?
They both are fighting how terrible they are. But like football, you can't half-ass play football. You can't. You're gonna get yourself hurt. But in boxing, it's I think it's still one of the most corrupt sports out there, unfortunately. Right? Who knows what that could be?
I think it has been historically. I think it's hard to say, but I think on the lower level, just like some of the horse racing and things like that, on the lower level where there's still a lot of money being thrown around, but maybe it's not always on TV or whatever, but there's always a boxing match every day. There's always a horse race every day somewhere, right?
True.
Something to bet on. I think on those levels, yeah, definitely very corrupt. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, you're right. So the Pistons is 12-56, and the Wizards are 11-57.
The Wizards are the worst record. Yeah.
Home records are just so they are. Pistons won 5 games on the road. The Wizards won 7.
Oh, the Wizards have won 7, and they still only have 11. What? That's crazy.
Yeah, it's just really, 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 really bad. And I don't see any positive, I guess, for Pistons that got Cade, and he may be so traumatized. He may get the first chance to get a trade, get the hell out of there.
I'd rather be on the Detroit Pistons than the Washington Wizards right now if I had to choose, but it's not a good situation either way. But
that's a good point.
Let me bring something up, because yesterday I texted you about Kyrie Irving. I want to bring up.
Oh, yes.
I was watching that game, just have it on in the background, watching it. I'm like, man, some of these moves Kyrie's doing, and I hadn't seen him play like a full game in a while. I'm like, this guy can kind of do anything. Mavericks having a better year than they had last year. Kyrie's kind of fitting in with Luka. Like, they're going to be in the playoffs.
I mean, Luka has been playing out of his mind. I mean, the stats he's been throwing up is ridiculous.
And he's almost averaging triple-double. Leads the league in points. I mean, he's amazing. Pulls up from anywhere. The pace of the game he plays, it's very fun to watch. Yeah. But Kyrie can do anything. He's a wizard. That's just, that's what he's known for. But then he hits that game winner. Going to his left, all left, runner over Joker. He does that after I send you. I asked Hannibal yesterday, if Kyrie Irving had the Mamba mentality of Kobe or the competitive nature of Michael Jordan, I mean, he could be in that conversation of one of the best ever, but he doesn't, he has all the off-court stuff. He's a lot of other things, which is fine. His focus, I don't think basketball has never really been his number one, even when he was in high school or college. He's actually kind of admitted that. But to watch him play and what he can do anything. Nobody stops Kyrie Irving. Like, he has every single move, every bag, left hand, right hand, long range, mid range, layup. I mean, the layup package I've never seen anything like it. So it's impressive. And he hits that game winner. I'm like, damn, like this guy. Yeah. No, it's impressive to watch him play.
It's interesting because, talking about Jokic, like, he don't seem to care about basketball either, right? Or at least he says the way he kind of nonchalantly just says, I hope when I'm done with basketball, I'm not famous anymore, blah, 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 that kind of thing. The thing about Kyrie, and it's annoying. I mean, he's annoying, right? But we don't have his talent, but we don't have his brain, you don't have his perspective on why he believes the way he believes. I mean, at one point, I don't know if he's still a flat earther, so he has his own way of thinking. Yeah. He's kind of, well, I think I told you this when I responded. It was very frustrating that we had, at one point in Brooklyn, you had Kevin Durant and you had Kyrie Irving and you had James Harden, and they did not win a championship.
Yeah.
Like, that's one of the biggest colossal failures in NBA history. I do believe it's one of the biggest failures that you had these 3 sensitive weirdos that take things. I think a lot of them need to not be on social media because you can tell what is said about them affects them way too much compared to others. Where I think Kobe probably had a Twitter, he may have used it a few times. He didn't give a damn about what they said. He just went in, like you said, that mentality. Extremely talented, right? Kevin Durant and Harden, extremely talented.
And those guys
are so weird
into their careers. Sometimes you see these big 3 come together. They're kind of older, right? These guys were still in the middle of their careers when they came together for the most part. Maybe, not the middle, but they were still very much in their prime.
Right.
Can do a lot, and they didn't do anything. There's going to be an ESPN 30 for 30 for that.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, it's a good amount of YouTube videos kind of break down how terrible that was. And you could say Harden was probably starting to backslide of his career, but he didn't need to score 30.
No.
He had Kyrie there. He had Kevin Durant. He could just facilitate it. And Kyrie Durant with the COVID shot, and in hindsight, yeah, it was probably important for him to stand up to that. But then there's like other things. It's like 4 or 5 things. If it was just that one situation, we wouldn't be talking about it. But it's these little things. And I want to leave Brooklyn. He wants to be in Dallas. I mean, all right. So Dallas is what, 39-29. Do you think they're going to go far?
But I do think, I mean, Dallas is better than Brooklyn right now, as far as
Oh yeah, of course. At this point, Brooklyn is on rebuild mode. I mean, they got what? They got who they have?
Cam Thomas, and they got Mikal Bridges.
Yeah, 2 players.
They got a couple guys, young guys.
Young guys. Everyone's young in the team.
I think Kyrie needed a reset. I'm not. I just think, and we talked about this, and it was always my point was, you got 3 personalities together that aren't going to work well together. When you have guys like that, you can have 2 of them on your team. You can't have the third. Because what happens when you enter in that third personality that's a little aloof or a little whatever and too much going on and not good enough of a leader, you can have 2 guys. And if you have the third guy come in and is a leader and more dominant and is going to help you guys keep them on a straight path and hold them accountable in a good, respectable way. But those guys are those guys. They're just not those guys. So I think Kyrie needed a change. And, I think, I think it's better for him to be somewhere where he's not the number one. He's never been a number one. I mean, even when he was a rookie with the Cavs, I mean, I guess he was still a rookie. Then James comes, and then he goes to the Celtics, and he couldn't be the number one there. They all had other superstars, and that didn't work. And then he goes to Nets. Kevin Durant's still the one there. He goes to Dallas. Luka's the number one. So I think Kyrie I think he's in a better spot now. But
were you surprised that he had the last shot and not Luka?
No, I think they set, when I was watching that, they set something for Luka. They ball denied. So they just happened to get. I think the ball happened to fall to Kyrie as a second option. That's how I see it. I could be wrong, and that's why he got the ball with not a lot of time in not a great position. He's in the corner and he has to work his way to the middle. Not easy to do that. His momentum took him there. He timed it perfectly. But I don't think that was designed for him.
Him being 6'2", doing a fucking hook shot, left-hand hook shot, probably is not. But he's so talented. It's possible he's practiced that shit.
Oh,
it's possible.
That's why I went in. But I don't think that's the play that they drew up, right? Yeah. You want to have the ball in Luka's hand. Luka hit the 3 to get him to that point anyway, possession before that. So, Luka's a better player right now, but Kyrie can do things that nobody can do. It's impressive to watch him play.
Yeah. This play is going to be pretty interesting right now. So, they're 7th place right now, but I guess that puts them in that play-in thing. Does it?
7 doesn't. I think it does. 7, 8, 9. 10.
Yeah, 7, 8, 9, 10. So you got the Lakers at 10, Warriors at 9, Suns at 8, and all of them have pretty decent records. Like if it'd been on the East, it could be further up, but they're 10 games above 500 for at least the Mavericks and the Suns. And again, 2 games up. I mean, Kings are 38 wins, Pelicans 41. Shout out to Big Boy. He's been losing weight.
Zion, yeah, man.
He's much loved. I think since the I actually right here.
25
pounds. He lost 25 pounds since the in-season tournament.
That's a lot of weight. He looks great. He's playing good. He's healthy.
Playing good.
I mean, he's having a really good year. And what I like about it is he's just kind of under the radar, don't you think? Like
that's perfect for him. Yeah,
perfect for him. Yeah, the pressure's not there. He's just going out and balling. I think he's playing. He's healthy, so he's playing a lot. He's gonna lose weight naturally, right? Because he's just exerting himself. So, if this is what a normal Zion looks like, he's still very young. I mean, it's good. Like, it's good.
It's cool. It looks like something clicked.
All those baby mamas.
That was weird. I mean, we were talking about that for a while. I mean, that was embarrassing to say the least. That you've met the craziest porn star around. Like most of them don't behave that way, at least on social media. Like she was definitely hurt that she couldn't wrap up this really young man while she's, I don't know, probably in her 30s. I'm not saying a grooming situation, but like he's a young man. Why would he be interested? Like what the game is, unless he was telling you things. But again, he's a young kid. You kind of, you should have a better idea of where that relationship is going. And the fact that, people think that Zion's fat and he eats a lot. So the fact that he lost 25 pounds is a lot of weight.
It's a lot of weight.
And there's a lot of effort to do that. So, shout out to him because, he gets a lot of bad, deservedly so, but, he showed that he's actually doing something positive. And all the way at 15th place was the San Antonio Spurs. Here's a question: should Wemby ever should he win the Defensive Player of the Year, or is it impossible to give Defensive Player of the Year to a man that's running a team that has only 15 wins?
Well, it's hard because their overall defensive ranks are very low as well. So he has a lot of blocks and he's got some steals too. But typically, your NBA Defensive Player of the Year is going to come from a playoff team that's a good team. That overall you're making your team better defensively because of you, right? So he's going to block a lot of shots because their defense in front of him is bad. So he's getting more opportunities to do it. So that helps his cause as far as stat padding on the defensive end. He's going to win multiple Defensive Player of the Years. That's my belief.
Yeah, definitely.
He's not going to win this year. He'll get a few votes, maybe. But he's definitely going to win Rookie of the Year. Not even close at this point. He's had
I like Chet. Chet is cool, but he's not Wemby.
He's not. No. He's putting together these crazy stat lines. He's getting better. Every month he's gotten a little bit better. Right now, his ceiling to me, let's say in 4 years, let's say that's his prime years, and 4 years from now, when a few of the other guys are a little bit older and LeBron and Steph are kind of gone and KD's maybe gone and like it's Victor's league and SGA and Luka's still doing his thing and a lot of other great guys. He's a guy that's going to score 30 a game, 15.
Easy.
15, 16 rebounds.
Yeah. The game has become so easy to him. I mean, he's already pretty easy to him. He needs someone to give him the ball.
Yeah. I mean,
they don't have a point guard.
30 points, 15 boards, 5-6 assists, 3 to 4 blocks a game, and probably 3 steals a game. That's going to be his average. That's like Will Chamberlain numbers, man.
What kind of contract he's going to get when it's everything? Get part of the team.
He's at that point with the money and the way it's going, he's $100 million a year.
Yeah, I mean, right? I would I with no hesitation. I mean, he looks pretty. I mean, frail, but he seems sturdy. He hits the ground. He falls on the ground, and he seems like he's always no rookie wall. Maybe he had a little slow moments during the season, but you could tell he's been bred to play basketball. Yeah. Like that's exactly what that man is supposed to do, is play ball. And his little brother is already 7 feet himself, and he's a few years young. I'm like, are you serious? I think his name is Oscar Wembanyama. So yeah, you're gonna have these guys running things for quite a while, but this team's terrible right now. So in your opinion, who's gonna win Defensive Player of the Year?
Man,
Rudy
Gobert guy, but
probably.
I haven't watched a lot of the Timberwolves play, so yeah. I don't know. I like there's a few guys. There's a guard. Wow, man, what's the guard's name? Not Holiday from the Bucks. He's won it once before.
Yeah.
I guess it's going to be Rudy again. I guess.
But the team is pretty good. I mean, they're third. I mean, obviously, it's not just him, but I remember it was a lot of criticism of that trade that they gave everything for him, and I guess it's not that bad, right? Like, I mean, it's Anthony Edwards, but you know what I mean? Like, yeah, everyone was like, they gave everything to get Rudy Gobert.
Yeah,
and they couldn't get a decent trade for Durant because not the same.
It's probably going to be him. Anthony Edwards, though, right now is
right.
He looks. There's so much young, good talent, man. He's only, I think it's maybe his 3rd year in the NBA. That guy's unguardable too. It's crazy, man. The NBA right now, I know we give it a hard time. It's no defense for the most part, a lot of scoring. But some of these guys, man, they're doing stuff that is, their IQ and athleticism is starting to match up more. Before it was like you had a guy, high IQ, maybe the athlete wasn't, he wasn't super athletic, or you had a guy super athletic, not IQ. And then you had guys like MJ and Pippen and, a few other ones, Magic Johnson, that had both, right? Kobe Bryant, Shaquille O'Neal, LeBron. Now it's like you're seeing more guys, in my opinion, with a good IQ, getting better, and then they're also super athletic. They got bags. They can do any shot in the game. So Edwards is fun to watch. Yeah.
Giggity said I applied to be his personal ball washer. Now I don't know what you're talking about, but you distracted me with this comment here, and Pedro's trying to break down some NBA stuff and talking about his ball wash.
You talking about Wemby? I'm assuming.
Oh, okay. Bobby said he'd rather be a top dasher than a ball washer.
I would
I'd rather be a top dasher too.
rather be a top dasher than a ball washer. Yes, that's
yeah, probably not. But some people say that they don't want to put Anthony Edwards as the face of the NBA because he's way too opinionated. Like he doesn't hold his tongue for when he sees something that's not working in the NBA. Like he legit said, the All-Star game, we just want to break.
Yeah.
And I guess that, do they want to put him as a face? He should be. He's 22 years old. 22 years old. He said 3 years in the NBA.
Like he's funny. He was on that movie with Adam Sandler.
I didn't watch that movie, and everyone loves it. Was it Uncut Gems? I gotta watch that movie.
No, it's good. No, it's good.
Yeah. I gotta check that out.
Good.
Not
Uncut Gems. No, it's no. It's another Sandler movie. I forget the name of it now, but it's not Uncut Gems. But same.
Is the same kind of like a serious? Like it's not a comedy. It's kind of like
no. It's a serious basketball movie. He goes to like Barcelona or Spain and gets this prospect, brings him over. He's trying to resurrect his career, kind of. Uncut Gems is also basketball, but that was Kevin Garnett and Adam Sandler, right?
Oh, okay.
And he had the jewelry store. This is like a guy that's a scout for teams, and he brings over this European player that's kind of a hothead. I forget his name. He actually plays in the NBA, or did at least a couple of years ago. Decent player, but wasn't like super popular. Pretty good movie. But Anthony Edwards was in that. He played a player playing against one of the main characters. But Edwards he's charismatic. I mean, he's funny. He's great with the camera. Good interview. I don't see the problem with that. I don't think he'll be the face. I think there's a few guys in front of him. I think if anything, Jason Tatum is ahead of him in that regard. Luka, Victor is more of a face in the NBA, in my opinion. You still got the old guys. It's still LeBron, KD, and Steph, in my opinion, right now.
He needs to leave Minnesota. It's just not the It's not the the market that's going to get you out there. You got to, I mean, at this point, it don't really matter because, he probably will stay because the Supermax is going to be you're going to not take all that extra millions and millions of dollars. Probably not. You're going to probably take that Supermax. But man, if he was in
if he goes to Chicago, I'd be happy. I'll tell you what, the team that could use somebody like that's the New York Knicks.
Yeah, that'll be sweet.
Puts them contender immediately.
Yeah, definitely. Right. I mean, right now, Jalen is, he needs help. Yeah. Like Wemby, if Trae Young goes over there, that's a pretty good team. Not only championship, but close to it. Like
it's a playoff team for sure, I think.
Yeah. But you talking about movies and NBA movies. So a classic, guys, since it's Pedro, he got this in my mind. Did you remember the movie The Air Up There?
The Air Up There. Oh man, I'm drawing a blank. Who's in that movie?
Kevin Bacon. I think he was either assistant coach or a scout for his college team.
Okay.
Now he could have been something, but he had an injury, so he became a coach. But he still has a hot head, whatever. He's drunk one time in the movie, like he's drunk, and he's watching footage of some African kid dunking the basketball like really easy. He flies all the way to Africa to bring him to St. John's. I think the name is. You remember that movie?
No,
classic movie, guys. Check that movie out.
Check it out.
The Air Up There. Get air. No, giggity. Air Bud is not the best basketball movie ever. How dare you?
No, not the best. Not the best.
What's your favorite basketball movie ever?
My favorite? That's hard, bro. Fuck. That's too hard. I don't have a favorite. I have a few. My Hoop Dreams.
Space Jam.
No, Hoop Dreams was a documentary out of Chicago that I would have to put that number one because it was a doc, so it was real. It followed the stories. It was from Chicago and Cabrini Greens, and like I think that was very well done. I believe it was early '90s.
First of all, don't be hating on Space Jam.
No. Hoosiers is good, but not my favorite. But that's definitely great response and a good movie.
Yeah.
Spike Lee joint is good with Ray Allen and Denzel Washington.
He Got Game.
He Got Game, really good movie. Yeah. That's a solid movie because it's not just about basketball. That's a good one. Love and Basketball. that's a guilty pleasure for me. I've watched that movie a lot. I think that's decent.
Makes sense. It
Whole
makes
no,
sense.
yeah, it's Sanaa Lathan.
So, talking to you, yeah, makes sense.
Yeah, it's
You
fine.
love love. You love love. Pedro loves love.
I love love. Yeah, sure. Especially if it's got Sanaa Lathan in it. So.
Oh yeah.
And I know I'm missing one that I really enjoy that I've watched a lot. It's not coming to me right now, but
yeah, I mean,
yeah, blue chips.
Yeah, blue chips. Oh yeah, that had Shaq and Penny on there.
Yep.
Check it. Let's see. The one, yeah, I did watch a lot of Space Jam. I'm sorry, I like Space Jam, but in terms of like other basketball movies, White Man Can't Jump. I love the dynamic between Wesley Snipes and Woody Harrelson, and then Rosie Perez is just yeah. Another one that no one really talks about, Sunset Park.
Sunset Park was all right.
I like Sunset Park.
Wasn't one of my favorites, but it was all right. Coach Carter's pretty good. I like Coach Carter.
Yeah, Coach Carter's pretty good. Yeah.
I like Coach Carter better. I mean, there's some good basketball movies, man, for sure. I like watching. This isn't a movie, but I do like the docu. Obviously the Jordan one, The Last Dance it's a good watch. The Redemption.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah,
Redemption team about the 08 redemption team for the Olympics with LeBron and Wade and Kobe on it. That's a good watch if you like docuseries. I tend to like my basketball movies to be centered around more reality than I like to remember something and hear the full story behind something I've seen already, but that was like real, right? I like stuff like that. That's why I like the blue chips too, because that stuff was happening. So it was Hollywoodized a little bit, but you understood guys are getting paid and the challenges of a coach to try to
it is interesting now as like decades later. Now everyone is saying I got paid. Like Tim Hardaway was on a podcast with Udonis Haslem and Mike Miller. He's like, I got paid. Yeah. We can do now. It's too late.
All those guys.
Like, why did you travel all the way from? I forgot where he came from to like. Why are you all the way over there? He's like, because I got paid.
Yeah. I mean,
which makes sense.
Listen, poor Reggie Bush. They need to give that man his Heisman.
Yeah, I think at this point it's time to bring it back. I mean, he was a dynamic of a running back you could ever seen, which is, you thought that would translate into the NFL, but he didn't want to run in between the tackles. And why would you? The way these guys were going after each other, but definitely give it back to him.
Yeah,
make a good story. He's a good guy. He's not like a guy that you have to worry about in terms of his character. Like, he needed money. We all need money. We all would do it. We'd all take the money when you come out of, whatever background you're coming from. Most of the time, you're coming from a, lower income. Someone's giving you $100,000 that can help your parents, help yourself. Of course, you're going to take it. Like, worry about the sanctity of the game.
Imagine having Hannibal. Imagine having a podcast, right? And you have them. You have two of them, right? So imagine doing that, and you see everybody around you eating off of your talent. They're selling shirts with the podcast logo on it. They're doing this. They're interviewing you, and all they're giving you is a couple $100 a month to get lunch at the whatever at where you go to college. Like, come on, man. Like, of course you want in on that $1 billion entity, right?
Yeah, because
those guys for doing the things that they did. I just don't.
Right. I mean, I'm sorry. I've been, I haven't been to a lot of colleges, but the food is not that great. So yeah, you may have the sports unlimited plan. Well, if no one knows how to cook and everything is no seasoning on it, you're like, wow, this is really terrible. Yeah. I definitely understand. Now, I don't like the boosters and the manipulation and then trying to, do that kind of thing. But that's what happens when you have no money.
Yeah.
You're going to take some weird deals. And the fact that they took so long to do this is ridiculous, because now I think, at least in the women's game, college game, we're going to talk about the March Madness before, a little later, they could stay if they're like, you know what? I'm making good money here.
Yeah,
I can actually stay a few years. Now the NBA, most likely, if you're good, just go, because there's no NIL money is going to match even a rookie deal. I'm assuming, unless I don't know what's going on, but at least for the women's side, they stay there as long as they can. That helps their game, helps the women's game build, and they're getting paid. At least the top stars are. So they should have done this already. People are motivated by money.
Yeah, they should have. And I will say this to kind of segue into March Madness. I think for the second year in a row, and I don't like to admit this, but I'm okay admitting it, I've watched probably as much women's basketball as men's, but going into the tournament, I know more women's names than I do guys' names as far as the top players. I know a few guys, tops players, their names, but there's not a superstar on the men's side. There's not. There's a big dude, the big goofy kid from Purdue. He won Player of the Year last year. He's a big dude. Yeah, great. UConn's great. They're the favorite right now. I mean, they got a couple good players, but they don't have the star power on the men's side like they usually do. They don't. All the star power in the college game right now is all on the women's side. You've got Caitlin Clark, Angel Reese, the girl,
and I think they're in the same region. I think they got them set up there, so that's going to be pretty cool.
The Paige chick from UConn. I mean, she was Player of the Year her freshman year. She's phenomenal. You got the Haley Van Lith girl on the same team as Angela Reese. Like all the stars, the Juju Watt, the girl from USC, that's a freshman. All the stars are on the women's side, right? So I'm more excited about that than I am the men's tournament.
That's interesting. I mean, because they're to make a star, you have to establish themselves. They have to be there for a while. It has to have a story narrative that always come together to a point where you care about the person playing, and obviously talented as well. So I don't watch a lot of college basketball. I may goof around and fill out a bracket or two, but I have no idea what the hell I'm doing. Have you got your bracket already taken care of?
I have one bracket taken care of. The team I think is going to win is UConn. I think they're just stacked. They don't have a weakness. They've got 3 guys. They got inside, outside, perimeter. They're national champions. They got a good coach. They got a good scheme. UConn's loaded. Houston's a really good team. They play really good defense. And they've been good for the last several years. So Houston's somebody to look out for. Obviously, Purdue, they got the big kid. They're a good team.
Who's that guy? Who's the Purdue? Is he going to be? I'm wondering, who's going to be some of the lottery picks who I should be paying attention to.
There's a guy from Tennessee. There's a kid from Purdue. Sometimes the lottery picks aren't necessarily the guys that are the best. It's weird because that doesn't translate to the NBA. But I'm rooting for you. I'm not rooting for UConn. That's who I think is going to win. I'm rooting for Arizona in a way because they have a kid named Caleb Love. I've met him. He's from St. Louis. He went to CBC. Phenomenal player. Went to North Carolina, transferred. Now he plays at Arizona. There's an opportunity that I think in the Elite 8, Arizona could play North Carolina. That would be interesting. That'd be fun to watch. That'd probably be the game that'd be most interesting to watch for me. But so I'm rooting for Arizona only because of the St. Louis tie. I don't have ties to any other team. But I think UConn's going to win. I think it's going to be kind of a boring men's tournament. There'll be some upsets like there are every year. I think the women's side is going to go pretty much cakewalk. There'll be some upsets, but it's going to be the top teams. There might be a seed that falls in there, but Iowa will go far. UConn, South Carolina hasn't lost all year. LSU will probably make it to the Final Four or at least Elite 8. Stanford might do some things. So I think the women's game is going to be more competitive when it comes to when we get to the Elite 8, I would say. I think there's going to be more style power, more on the women's side than the men's side. I could be wrong, but I think that's probably what we're going to see happen. And I think it's going to be UConn kind of gliding to another national championship.
Okay, so you got UConn on the men's.
Yeah.
And UConn on the women too?
No, I think South Carolina. Deepest team right now. They haven't lost all year. They got the best coach in women's college basketball, Dawn Staley. I think South Carolina redeems themselves. They lost last year, I believe, to Iowa. Caitlin Clark, I believe, was the team. It would be remarkable to see Caitlin Clark take Iowa again to the national championship and win it. I wouldn't be surprised if that happens because I do think she is by far the best player in the game right now.
Does she have help?
She has a little. I think she has a little bit more help than she had last year. Yes, a little bit. Not enough though. She's gonna have to score 40 a game. But she could do that.
It's possible, right? So you think her game is going to translate to the pros? Because we've seen, at least in the men's side, certain players that just look great in the college game. 3-pointers. I don't know. Just thinking like Jimmer or JJ Redick. I mean, he had a good career, but there's certain players that look like they were doing really well, looking like they can do the same thing, and then they go to NBA and realize they got to play defense and they athletically can't keep up. Well, Caitlin Clark, you think she'd be able to translate this crazy way she's able to perform and do that in the next level?
Day one. It's not because she doesn't just shoot the basketball. She's a great passer. She plays a little D. She's competitive. Caitlin Clark's going to be something. Yeah, she's going to be. So I think she's a little bit better than the Sabrina Ionescu girl, right? That went to Oregon. I think she plays on New York Liberty or whatever. She's a really
Yeah,
good.
and she's
She's
I mean, she
better than her, in my opinion. So yeah, I think it's going to translate immediately. Yeah, I don't see any fall off because she hasn't had a fall off from last year. She had a really good year this year as well.
yeah.
Again, better competition and with more eyes on her, more people coming at her. So I think Caitlin Clark should be just fine.
Cool. Nothing but Silicone says the reason why women's basketball has grown because they stick around long enough for there to be a story. No one and done's like the men's.
Good point.
And Bobby disagrees. He thinks the men's tournament will be exciting because it's not too top heavy like the women's tournament.
I think in the men's, Bobby, I think it's a good point. I think when I looked at it, I think there's seven teams or so that could legitimately win and we wouldn't be like surprised. But with the men's tournament, we have over the last few years, I think it was last year, the 16 seed, Purdue lost, or one seed for the first time lost to a 16 seed, right? So that could happen again. Like we see a lot of upsets because you have these mid-majors with a lot of seniors coming in and they beat these other big blue blood teams like Kentucky or Duke or Virginia or Purdue. So I think it's a little more top heavy on the women's, to your point, but I think there's going to be some upsets on the men. And I think at the end of the day, there's not enough star power. Basketball is driven on star power, even in college. I think it is. You like to have the Cinderella, but you want the guys that are good and names that you want to watch those guys play a little bit. I think there's nothing wrong with that. And I don't think we just don't have the big names anymore in college basketball. And that's okay. I still like the games, but
I think I think you want a little bit of everything, right? You want the Cinderella team that you can follow, but you also want your name stays to do what they're supposed to be doing because they have the most money, the most, they got the most resources. They've been doing this for a while, so a little bit of both is perfect, right?
Yeah. I'm gonna watch either way. College, the college NCAA tournament's fantastic, but I'm more excited for the women. I think there's more storylines too. There just are. And I think right now we're going to have a really good WNBA draft. You're going to have Caitlin Clark come out. You're going to have Cameron Britt. You're going to have, who's the other, Paige Becker from UConn, which has had a lot of injuries, but she is a dog. I think if she hasn't had injuries, she's putting up some Caitlin Clark type numbers. She's that good. So you're going to have an interesting NBA lottery draft. So a lot of these girls are playing their last games. So I think the competition in the women's game is going to be amped up in a lot of ways more than the men's. I think we're going to see that once we get to the Elite Eight. I think we're going to see, better games on the women's side, is my opinion.
Yeah, so Giggity said, I tried watching women's basketball. It was like watching Hannah Gatsby trying to be funny.
For everybody, but I've watched a lot of girls play over the years. I've coached young girls play. It's just different. You got to know. Don't
be sexist, Giggity. Hannah Gatsby is hilarious. No, she's so bad. Have you ever heard of her?
Never. No.
We're gonna do some homework. I'll send you some clips of her act. She's probably one of the most non-funniest comedians I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, no, I don't.
She is part of that feminist kind of lecturing instead of making a damn joke kind of.
Yeah,
to the point where I think Dave Chappelle said, and Hannah Gatsby is not funny. Like she got upset about that, obviously, because that's what most comedians do. Instead of just hitting them back with a joke, just say I'm upset. She's not funny at all. Me
and my father talk about this with some family members. Me and my dad don't find a lot of women funny, and like we get shit about it. Like, oh, that's sexist. Some of them aren't funny. It's forced jokes, and it's only.
Let's see. Women have made me laugh. I would assume so. Let me think. A funny female comedian. Maybe the older, like I don't know. You guys, Roseanne made me laugh. Roseanne made me laugh.
Yeah, Roseanne's funny, but not.
She gave a fuck. She said what she wanted. Whoopi. I know you guys hate Whoopi now, and she's really annoying. At one point, Whoopi was funny. You guys may not remember it because it's probably been like 30 years. Whoopi was funny. I don't know what happened.
I think people get sex change. I think she had a personality change.
Something. She was way too left and way too like annoying. But at one point, Whoopi Goldberg was funny. I don't know what happened to her.
There's Amy Wong or something, or what her name is. She has some Netflix special.
Oh yeah, she's funny too.
She's kind of you know, do comedy when she.
Yeah, you can tell her style. She kind of does the same thing.
Yeah, she's kind of funny a little,
She's
but
funny.
I watch one special. I'm not looking for every special. You know, it's not.
No,
I'm
it's
not,
the same special. It's her talking about her She did 2 straight specials pregnant. So a lot of her stuff is the same because she did one, she's pregnant, showing. Next one, same, showing. And then she left her husband. It's hilarious. Thank you, Marty. Eddie, good movie. I like Eddie. Now it's biased because it's talking about the New York Knicks, but at that time, the movie about the New York Knicks are so bad that they just took a fan because this crazy rich owner just bought a fan and made her the coach. And I think it had a few NBA players in there.
Yeah, no, there was a few. Yeah, Whoopi was on back in the day. What, you talking late 80s, early 90s? Whoopi was a G, man. She was making some movies, comedy, did her thing. You know, now she's just, you know, she's changed a little and, you know, the world's changed around her, I guess. I don't know, but she's a little more annoying now, but still respect for her. She's a legend for sure.
Yeah. But yeah, in terms of, Sister Act, of course. Yeah. I mean, that's some good stuff, but like, what's a funny woman now? Like Amy Schumer isn't funny. Mm-hmm. She's actually been, people saw her stealing jokes, so she's not funny. So yeah, in terms of like female, like Whitney Cummings is okay.
He's all right. He's okay. Yeah.
You're right. There's not a lot of no, there's not a lot of good funny.
I'll say this. I used to watch like a little bit of like the Tina Fey, Amy Poehler, like they were funny for a little while.
For TV, like writing, like TV writers, there are probably women that write that do that's probably funny. But in terms of like a stand-up comedian, you doing all your own material, it's difficult. I mean, you know. Who
was the one real crass woman? Sandra Bernhard. Remember her back in the day? She was like
Sandra Bernhard. Let me look that up. I'm gonna have to go.
Yeah. You'll remember her face. She was real like 90s, real crass and just out there and just like super bold. I feel like she was always just smoking a cigarette and just talking shit and just like
yeah. You tell she had Kathy Griffin. Did you ever find Kathy Griffin funny?
Oh no, she's not.
I mean, I'm trying to think. Oh, Joe Behar. Like apparently she was funny. I mean, maybe if I'd watched some old stuff, maybe, but definitely currently she's not funny. But
Julia Louis-Dreyfus is funny to me sometimes.
Oh yeah, of course.
Yeah. I mean, if I was gonna say something, she even did the show, the Veep or whatever. She's pretty funny.
Yeah, I was a big fan of her. And Betty White, of course.
Yeah.
I mean, Golden Girls. I can sit there, put that on. I'll laugh. You know what I mean?
Golden Girls.
Yeah. But before we end this real quick, I will do this one little video real quick, and I'm gonna ask Pedro this question, and then you guys can answer because most of it, I think, at this point, I think we're all men in here at this point in this chat right now.
I think so.
Pedro, do you take baths?
No.
What was that? What was that reaction? Why you don't take a bath?
I almost took one this week because I wasn't feeling great. I was like, man, a bath might sound good, and then I was like, nah, it's just too much effort. So,
okay. Well, I don't know who this person is, but I caught this video. I thought it was so silly, but I want to play it, and I want you guys to see if you agree or disagree with this guy's take.
And if you over the age of 19 taking a bath, bro, you need to get your freaky ass on, bro. Not only if you take a bath, you need to get the fuck on. It's some niggas that sit in the tub and let the water run while they they putting their bare back on a cold piece of tub, letting the water fill, cutting it off with their toes, and then adding fucking body wash in there, bro. Get your freaky ass on and take a shower, bro. No man should be taking no bath, bro.
Okay. So, guys, anyone after 19, is that a problem? Oh, Bobby says try 9. After age 9, you should not, as a man, you should not be taking a bath. What's your opinion on this one?
Okay. So disability or sickness.
Yeah. Well, healthy, regular.
We're talking healthy man,
right?
Taking a bath. We're not. Listen, this ain't Scarface, okay? We're not Tony Montana. We're not some kings and some baths. I ain't got no time for that shit. That takes time and effort. That's a commitment because is a bathtub clean? Do you have the right soap? You got the thing. You got this. You got that. Nah, I'm not sitting in my dirt, bro.
So you're not talking about, you're talking about logistics and time, but in terms of the idea of a man taking a bath, is that a problem? You have
By
a problem
himself. Okay, I'll say this: by yourself, if you are not sick, that is an issue. Yes, something is wrong. That's my take. I'm gonna stand by it. Now, if you're taking a bath with your chick, I've taken a bath with my chick over the last few years, maybe once or twice. But like, if I'm by myself, a grown ass man with bubbles in a tub by myself, something is wrong in my life. Yes.
I strongly disagree with you guys. I don't know, Bobby. That's the funny thing is I don't, because in the standard New York City apartments, the tub is too damn small. I can't fit in the bath. Like it just won't. It's not comfortable.
You would take a bath. You would take a bath.
Well, I think baths are relaxing. Like I think we're doing this talking about masculinity here. Come on, guys. A man should be able to take a bath and chill out, like everyone else. Like why we can't relax? How dare he? Like, Bobby, take a bath.
Listen, no, I think you're right. Ice baths are relaxing. Okay. Yeah,
okay, I can't. Listen,
what up, Tony? I get the relaxing. I guess I rather relax in different ways. I don't know. I just don't find that relaxing. Are you reading a book? I would imagine Hannibal's probably scrolling on the phone, right? No,
yeah, drop the phone, electrocute myself. But I mean,
I'm just not interested. It's too much work, bro. I'm lazy. I ain't doing all that, man. Am I doing
but you saying as a man, you should not be in that bath, turn off that water with your foot.
No. By yourself? No. If you got a hot tub, you're with your chick, you got a sauna, you're not, that's different. But like for me, I don't know, man. It's a little feminine. I can't do it.
I agree, Giggity. He said next y'all be saying I can't sit and pee. I thought this was a safe space. I thought so too, but apparently men should not be taking baths. I did not know that. I thought now every day, no, of course not. You have the time, like I said, time to do all that crap. I mean, most young children take baths because they can't do it. They're not tall enough to get the shower head.
Yes.
See, but Tony said the last bath he took was Epsom salt for injured shoulder.
Yeah, we exempted any kind of injury or disability or illness. That's normal. It makes sense. If you're just like coming home from a long day, like, hey babe, can you draw me a bath? Yeah, man, I'm good. I'm gonna do it.
You know what? You're wrong, and I'm gonna challenge. Mr. Bet on You likes to do challenges. I challenge you. I'm gonna challenge all of you. If you had a long day and you have time to relax and chill, take a bath. Because it looks like you guys have the tubs the size to do that. I can't. I literally can't.
We got time. Enough of us have time.
Right.
It's just about how you manage it. So you're right about that. But I just don't want to take a bath. It's not something I think about. So.
Yeah, but you can get your fruity drink, maybe a glass of wine. Now these tubs have the little. You can get in bed you can have breakfast. They had those little tables that you could set up. You could put your drink. Probably have your little phone, watch your NBA highlights, or women college football, basketball highlights. Have your little fruity drink, relax, unwind. Thank you, Slim. Slim coming through clutch. Appreciate you.
Put the cucumber on your eyes. Listen, I've never had a cucumber on my eye.
What's that? I mean, that's cool. I'd rather have a salad, but cool. If that works, it helps my eyes do what it's supposed to do.
My girl wants me to get like my feet done with, go to get a pedicure with her. We should do a facial.
We're going extremes here. I didn't say.
I don't know. It's just not. I'm not interested in it. It's not. All
right. So Pedro, how much I have to give you? How much I have to pay you to take a bath?
Okay, listen. I mean, you want to?
You gotta stay there for an hour.
For an hour?
Yeah.
I don't even have anything. I don't have all the stuff to take a bath. I got bubble bath, but little.
Well, don't be taking the baby's bubble bath for your nonsense.
Listen. You send me $200 in that Venmo.
I will slap it. I will turn this damn computer off right now. $200 an hour. This guy.
$200.
Thank you, Marty. That's more of a reasonable request. $10 an hour to relax. You're chilling.
I can't buy a damn sandwich for $10. What am I going to take a bath for?
You're taking a bath. Wait to eat a sandwich.
Johnson said, "What celeb would you get in a bath?" I got 20 celebs I can name.
Yeah, but that's easy. No, by yourself with your own thoughts.
By ourselves. Celeb.
That's different. Yeah. You're in the bath, in the bubble bath or whatever, looking down. You see a knob. nothing is there. You got nothing going on. You're thinking. That's the kind of bath that you guys should be doing. So
Listen, man.
and Marty you're just taking a bath. Appreciate you, Marty.
Marty, that's too much information, bro. I don't want to know. You're taking a bath with your fucking shit out and we're watching it on the podcast, bro. Come on, man. I don't need to know.
Listen, we're going one of these days you'll do it. One of these days. Oh, listen, you have no choice.
The first thing I thought of is that Margot Robbie scene from the movie The Big Short.
Oh yes, I remember that scene very
He's in the bubble bath. That's the bath I want to be in right there. Yeah.
It was perfect because she was explaining the whole movie, like the whole idea. And the only way I was going to understand that is her talking about it. Cause right.
Yeah.
But yeah, she's an amazing looking woman. Well, on that note, guys, take a bath if you can and give us your review. Maybe you say, you know what? I haven't taken a bath since I was a child and I did it. It was amazing. You can thank me. Pedro said not to do it. So
on Wednesday, we need some kind of product reviews from Hannibal as far as are we doing Epsom salt? Is it Calgon Take Me Away? Is this some eucalyptus mixture?
Yeah,
what candles, the lighting, the music? Are we listening to Andre 3000's new album? Like, what is the mood? That's the review I want from Hannibal on Wednesday.
I mean, think about it. Even if you're in the jacuzzi, right? Or you're at the beach, not the beach. Beaches, you play some hip hop, some gangster shit. I like that. But you're in a relaxing environment. We're gonna play Wu-Tang. You're gonna play some DMX. You're gonna play some slow shit. You're gonna play some, relaxing stuff.
I'm probably playing some kind of instrumental, or something like that.
Right. But at the beach, Wu-Tang. I play any. I love it. The beach. Play that good shit. But like in a relaxing moment, you may want to. You don't want to go play Griselda or something about how many people they're shooting and killing each other. Like,
are you like drinking a glass of wine? Do you have like some cheese and crackers? Like,
I haven't done it.
People eating in the what's?
Nah, I mean, I ain't eating in the bathroom. Bathroom is not for eating. I do agree. Drinking. I mean, you know why women love it? They want time alone.
Yes.
They're tired of their kids. The kids are annoying. They're not listening, or they just always want to be underneath the parent. The woman wants to close the door, get in the bathroom, relax. So for the women, it's the bathroom, but us is what? The den or the garage or the man cave, whatever you want to call it. So it's always about the place to relax. They're relaxing in there. When we relax in other places. But we need to infiltrate their space, their safe space, and take baths in there too.
Man, my chick don't even really let me fuck around and do anything in the bathroom upstairs. I got this damn bathroom down here. I just had to redo and all that. Like, man.
Go up there. Take a bath, claim mark your territory. Say, I'm put my whole butt on this fucking
piss on the walls and shit.
Well, I don't do that. That's a bit much because you'll be cleaning it.
See, driven that's got it. It's about to be a bubble bath in that place. Yeah.
Blood bath.
I know where not to go, man. I ain't doing all that.
Giggity rubs. Okay, all right. On that note, guys, well, rubbing duckies. Enjoy the rest of your evening. We'll be back Wednesday with more nonsense like this. But thank you for coming through. Definitely a highlight of my day. Been a lot of work, so it's nice to shoot the shit and talk nonsense with my peoples. And we'll see you guys on Wednesday. Peace.
No balloons. I'm looking for the balloons like last time. No balloons. You
messed it up. Just hold it. Don't just hold it in one direction like this. I think that.
Okay. And then the balloons?
No, they stopped the balloons.
Oh, I didn't. Yeah. There you go. All right.
Put some balloons in that bubble bath.